welcome to Unfiltered
I
with
do my
Roxy.
hair talk, check my nails. Baby, how you feeling?
Welcome, everyone. My name is Roxana Feenster, and this is Unfiltered with Roxy. I have a podcast where I dive into different mindfulness techniques, and I also talk about my journey through growth and self-discovery. I share some of my experiences with perimenopause and all that excitingly unexciting stuff, but it is a lot to go through. So I do share some of the trials that I've gone through with that. And I share affirmations, motivations. I'm a wellness advocate, a mental health advocate, and I may get back into wellness coaching and group fitness soon, but not yet. Now is a time for me to do a few of the things that I wasn't really doing before, like taking care of my house in a different way. When I had little kids, it was a lot of cleaning and organizing. And then when I got to have teenagers, it was even more cleaning and organizing, not because they were dirtier, but because they had more stuff. They had more places to go to. So now I'm able to focus on a lot of other things that I wasn't able to focus on before. So yeah, that's a little bit about me. And now I don't even have teenagers. I have 30s. I have 20s and a 30. I'm getting so old, which is totally fine. I'm glad that I'm getting older. The other option is being in the grave, and we all know how that is. We don't know how that is, but it doesn't matter. But that's why we're glad we're not there. We're grateful that we're alive. No matter how we look, we're here. And so, with today's message, I wanted to talk a little bit about my end of year sprint. See where you are. Are you sprinting or are you just slow walking? Doesn't matter. We're going to go through it together. Having grace and mercy for the people in life in the holiday season. And then lastly, I was hoping to share a few of my holiday do's and don'ts. My daughter and I did a podcast, and I'll link that in the description, all about the holidays and if you're joyful during the holidays or if you're in a blue season for the holidays. We discuss that we take a deep dive in, guys, of us giving tips and tools. So I'm going to link that in the description. So just to be honest, a lot of us are dealing with grief into the holiday season. My mom, actually, her birthday was yesterday. She died, passed away, went to heaven September 18th or 19th. So it was before the holiday season, but she was very into Christmas. So not only is she into Christmas, gave all the gifts, was this great, kind person, she also had her birthday the beginning of December. So yesterday was not as hard as it usually is for me in my grief journey. I was actually okay. I mean, I felt like I'm always the day before the day. I always feel something like I felt heavy Monday, but not the day of. So I just gave myself grace. I think I was like, Monday was supposed to be the day that I did all of these things. Like I was supposed to go work out early, but I ended up not doing it because I knew I couldn't do it. I had to listen to my body. So yeah, grief is something that shows up differently in everyone. And the holiday seasons remind us of different things of people that we've lost. So like Mother's Day sometimes is hard for me, but not really because I had a good mom. She took care of me and it was just a holiday. We would probably go to church or we would see each other, but it wasn't like a big deal like Easter. Easter, even before she died, we went to church together. We did a lot of things for holidays. So some holidays are more touchy for me than others. So Christmas is one of those holidays. And she got me a lot of my Christmas decorations. So I also think about that during the holidays. But this holiday, I decided not to go in deep with my decorations. I have none up now. I just took down the little bit of pumpkins and little items that I had out, and I probably will put some nutcrackers out. I'm a big nutcracker person. My mom gave me a lot of nutcrackers. And then I'll also put up a tree. My son and I were supposed to get it out the shed, but I'll do that maybe today or maybe tomorrow. Maybe today I'll pull it out the shed, but then we can set it up this weekend, like make it drop and all that stuff. We were going to cut down a tree, but it just ends up being so tight with time that we decided not to do it. And plus, somebody has to be responsible to water it. You need someone to water the trees. So that's a whole thing in itself. So, one of my tips for this holiday season, you don't have to go all out. Just the bare minimum is the bare minimum. If you only put a wreath up, that's fine as well. I can't even put a wreath up anymore because of how my door is. But yeah, if you can't do all the things this holiday, and then one of the things that we struggle with is it's easier for me to put everything up, but then it's like, uh, always like more of a hassle to wrap things up, put them away. So that's why I just decided this year maybe I wouldn't go all out, but then I might because why not? But for now, the plan is I don't have to go out. You don't have to go all the way out either. And I want you to be honest with that. Take a good account of the time that you have. That way, you're not resentful to your family if they don't want to help you clean up or not. And I think that's something that I've learned in my 48 years is that yes, it would be nice if everyone wanted to do certain things, but if not, that's okay too, because we don't know where they are in their journey. And you may be saying, well, how can your kid has a journey? Everyone has a journey. So even we don't even know the things that our kids are going through, even if they're teenagers, even if they're adult ones, they're not telling us all the things. So we just have to be mindful. So you don't have to perform to have joy. You don't have to be the one to do all the cooking, to do all of these performative things to show that, you're a good, joyful, or deserving of a joyful season. One of the things that I heard, I think it's Evan Hertz share is, and I thought this was a great tip that if you want the holiday cheer, but you don't want to decorate your whole house, one of the things that my kids and even my mom and I love to do is go to Starbucks. They always have music going. Go to the mall, walk around the mall and do your shopping that way because those are the things that we really love about the holiday season. The music, the decorations. You can decide to go earlier in your lunch break. So you're actually not in the middle of all the chaos, but you're choosing how to navigate through that holiday season. And then you don't have to do all the decorations. You could just decorate yourself. So that's another tip that I think I just learned it this week and I thought that was so good. Her journey with the holiday season is she lost her mom around the same time I did. So I just thought that was a good tip. And I think I'm gonna do that probably this evening. Go to Starbucks and just get a mocha or something just because, just feeding my spirit man. Because we always are my soul man, because my mom and I always went to Starbucks if after church, just such a big part of her enjoying her life, and she gave that to me. All right, so this year I told myself I don't have to go all the way out. The holiday energy audit is something that please take account of all the things that you have to do. If you already volunteered to do something at the church and at work, you don't need to add another thing on there. If you already decided to do a big thing for your family, like you're doing family dinner, you don't have to do Thanksgiving and Christmas. Just choose one. And I think I was someone who felt like, and I had little kids before, and I felt like I had to do all of this stuff all the time. And the kids, yes, they enjoyed it, but did they need it all the time? Probably not, especially not if I was going to be bitchy or crabby and cleaning up, putting it up or putting it away. It wasn't helping anyone for me to be like that at that time. So That's something that I've learned now, and hopefully it could help you in navigating the season better. Also, make sure you're putting time to take care of yourself. So many times it's not the extra task that we're mad at, it's that it's taking away from the things we have had planned for ourselves. So, one of the things I purpose to do is every day this month, this December, is the month of me using my Peloton app until it's broken because I'm so tired of paying that $50 and not really using it. So I told myself, if I'm not really using my Peloton, I'm going to sell it. They have an app that you could sell it. So that's my motivation now because usually when I use my bike, I feel good. When I use the outdoor walking app, I feel good. So it's no reason why I'm not using it other than I'm not putting that in my rotation of things to do. So today I did a pop walk with, I think it was Jen, and it was pretty good. Like she had good songs. She had Taylor Swift, she had Britney Spears, she had Mariah, she had, oh my gosh, if I'm not going to write you a love song just because you asked for it. I mean, they were all good songs. Like usually I'm Team Tunde or Alex T, but that's why it's good to try other Peloton instructors as well. So I always enjoy the app. This season I'm going to do at least 15 minutes because even the walking, they have a mindful walk, they have a soul walk, they have the 45-minute power pop walk. That's what I did this morning. I love to do my biking with Tunde or Alex T, and they have 15, 20, 30, 45, even the hour. So I probably won't do the hour because I'm listening to my body now. I don't need to do the most all the time. And I know strength training is my main focus right now in this stage of my wellness. Yes, I do want to lose 30 pounds, but really I need my strength training, I need my cardio, stretching. So my cardio 20, at least 20, 30 minutes, but my stretching, that's something that I think the app could really help me at because doing stretching by myself, not so good. So I'm going to use the help that I'm paying for. Also, making sure that I go to the gym at least 30 minutes a day. And if I don't hit that, it's fine. But we have a challenge going on now at my gym that at least 15 check ins, I think it's 15 check ins throughout the holiday season, which has already proven to be a challenge. Last week, when it was Thanksgiving, my son was here and I had these painting projects. I did not get to go to the gym. This week is at least 30 minutes. I went yesterday, did my Pilates class, and I was able to check my check-ins. So use the little tools that are free. The challenge, the holiday challenge check-in is free. Use the tool of whatever apps that you like. Most of them have some kind of challenge going on right now. I think the Apple Watch even has one for December that if you have a certain amount of check-ins, you get a certain badge. And of course, I'm there for all of it. I love the check marks and the stars. So, yeah, if I don't, I'm not, my plan for the end of the year for me is not to actually lose a big amount. If I can lose 5 pounds this month, I lost 6 last month. If I can lose 5, I'll be happy. But I don't know how well I'll do. Not that I'm eating more, but I think my workout schedule may not be, just because I'm walking 15 minutes is not weight loss workouts for me. And I really need to make sure I'm getting to the gym for the strength training because that's where I'm going to see the most change. So I'm thinking I probably will get 2 pounds, 2.5, and I'll be happy with that. I think I've finally realized that I was overeating, I was over drinking, and I got my sobering notes of my wellness. So that's one thing that I think we need to make sure that we're purposing time to take care of ourselves, especially if we're doing other things to help other people. And I don't want to be worried about calories and stuff If I go to a party and I want to have a drink and I want to have a cookie, we went to the game Sunday. I had some of the snacks, but definitely not going overboard because I know what my goals are. So think about that when you're going through your holiday schedule and things. Is what you're doing going to help or hurt your goals? You can go to parties. Are you going to eat before, and that way you can have a little bit of snacks, be a little bit stricter during the week, and not that it's a cheat day, but I'm going to allow myself the snacks that I know my aunties or my friends make. That's their dish to make. I want to be able to enjoy that, right? So that's a boundary with yourself. Just making sure that wellness is like a long marathon. I thought for so many years, as long as I lost the weight and I looked a certain way, that was it. That wasn't it. It was the start of it, but it was not it. So I think us realizing the sooner we realize that, the better. It doesn't have to be all or nothing. One of the things that I was doing before I got spoiled, I would make my coffee and tea without any sweetener, just creamer for my coffee. For my tea, this one is a green tea weight loss tea. And I did put a little bit of agave because I have the cute agave thing that you pick up, the wand, and it puts it in there. So I just wanted to use that. But usually I don't put anything. And that's just something I had to do. I used to be heavy into sugar, heavy into all of that. And I had to learn not to do that. I think those little things will help you on your journey. Also, some things to ask yourself as you're going through the holiday season. Are there family members or friends or coworkers that stress you and drain you? Can you avoid them? Do you have to do things with them? Most of the times we can limit our exposure to these people in our lives. I want to say toxic, but sometimes I don't even know if it's toxic. I just don't want to be around you. I just don't like you that much. And I'm too old to be pretending. Anyways, toxic or not, limit your time with them. That way you can enjoy your holiday season. And that's not to say don't go to family events. If it's a lot, maybe you go early and help set up and then leave, or you send a tray and then not deal with them at all. And maybe this is just a holiday that you don't do that with them. So, yeah. Also think about who makes you feel good. Can you spend time with them? Are there things that you can align yourselves with, like going to see the tree down in DC? Can you go wherever you are and they have their trees? That's something that's free and you could do together. Just take your little drink and go around your way. What traditions uplift you and what traditions don't? And if they don't, you don't have to do them anymore. Even if your mom or your dad or your aunties and them wanted to do it, you don't have to keep doing those things. The Not Vanilla podcast dives all into that. We even talk about our own issues with certain things. So check it out. What expectations are yours and what aren't yours? I think so much of my life has been that, just doing things just because. So think about that. What are the things I actually want to do and what are the things that I don't want to do? And that's why I'm struggling and procrastinating doing stuff. That goes even beyond the holiday season. What pressures are you carrying for someone else? Like, did someone volunteer you because they're having pressure? That doesn't necessarily mean you have to accept it just because it would make their load lighter. Okay. Yeah. And I talked about my pressures about not really being on the weight loss thing, doing my Peloton app. The little things make a big difference. That was yesterday's affirmation. Little steps towards your goal make a big impact in the end. And I thought about this on my walk this morning. Yesterday when I had went to the gym, I said I was only going to do the class because it took a lot for me to get there because, like I was saying, my journey with grief I felt like, wow, this is a lot even for me to get to the gym. And then once I got there, I felt shame like, oh no, you should be there for more than 30 minutes. But we need to really honor and respect our body and our time. So if you tell yourself you're going to work on a project for an hour, I've been guilty of this even with the painting project. In that hour, in that 30 minutes, in that 5 minutes, you've put the time that you've dedicated to do. Don't do more than that because most of the time you're going to feel resentful because it's bumping into something else and the other something else needed your attention as well. So think about all of those things when you're trying to have what time do I actually have? And just having peace with the holiday season, choosing peace. It's not that you have to chase it, you don't got to look for it, you have to choose it. So if there's chaotic things going on, you could decide what exactly is your part in that. And then that's it. My part is I'm going to give you $20 and I'm walking away. I saw a YouTube short that was like, "Well, I gave my $20 for my food. I'm allowed to get what I want if you want to just put $20." I never thought about asking people for that. Not that it makes it better, but I guess if that was stressful for you and you didn't have a lot to do a big meal, I never thought about actually asking Kickens. Anyways, so you can either sprint to the end of the year and do as much as you can, or slow walk it and start the beginning of the year with the full effort, max effort. One of the things that I loved about the man cave finally getting done is that it took me forever to do the little bit that I did just now, like just painting. I kept saying for years we did a remodel project with our bathroom. I added a room, all these things. And then it was kind of like, and it went in the back burner. So now it's like, okay, I said for 4 years I'm going to do this. In a couple of weeks, I was able to paint the ceiling, paint the walls. I painted the hallway in my front of my office. I painted the bathroom across from my office. I painted some pictures to go in the bathroom. So I feel like creativity breeds more creativity. It's a point where you're like, because this looks better, I want it to look better. So it'll keep encouraging you to do more and more. And you could do that slowly or quickly. That's all up to you. It's not about somebody else. No one else cared about this space getting painted. But I will say this, once I started, my husband got excited about getting a new fish tank and now he loves his fish tank again. It's like we do need those creative projects to help us do more with our life. Sprint to some of your house projects, declutter projects, or don't. But do something that's going to make you enjoy your space. That's what's going to make you also enjoy your holiday more. Don't forget that you have people that have gone through this before. We don't have to figure these things out by ourselves. We can read books, we can listen to podcasts, curate your areas, your mind with things that are going to help you. There's mindful cards, there's books. I know I want to do more spiritual things and I needed to be focused. That was one thing that I wanted to really honor my mom in is that she was the prayer warrior for our family. So I want to do that as well. And me purposing that means I need to take account and have time for that as well. Time in the morning, first thing in the morning, my midday walks, also listening to scripture, also doing that. So let's have spaces where it's easy to do it. Don't put the books that'll help you on mindfulness or the books that'll help you with prayer or scripture far. Have them in your app. I have some of the books that I have that are audio books. I also have them in Kindle and I also have them as paper. You need to make sure that all the tools you need are always close to you. Know your emotional triggers and boundaries. That's like taking account of the things that you're going into this season with. Who really aggravates me and why? And if what's the lesson I'm supposed to learn? I remember I worked with someone, I mean, we always work with someone who annoys us, but it was really a struggle. And I had to really pray and see that this is a lesson. This is a mirror for me to get certain emotions together, get certain tasks together. Cause that's another thing too. Sometimes we're aggravated with people at work or aggravated with family members, and it's because we have not put boundaries on ourselves to address certain things in ourselves, to address certain things with them. So, yeah, protect your morning. That's the whole thing with making sure you're taking care of yourself first. So that way, when the extra stuff comes, yeah, I'm frustrated because it's a longer day, but at least I took care of myself. At least I went for my walk. At least I went to the gym for my 15, 20 minutes. At least I listened to my book for 10 or 15 minutes. Do those things first. Protect your morning. Do those things first, and then you will feel so much better through the season. So, these next couple weeks, I think it's being really soft with yourself, having grace and mercy, and not only grace and mercy for yourself, but for other people and systems. I went with my son Monday to a doctor's appointment and he was running late. Not a big deal. But because I had went through a couple of things with a doctor that I had been with for years, I want to say for like almost 10 years, I was late with them. I had left the house with more than enough time, had to call off of work to get this appointment. The appointment took me 2 months to get. So already it's a lot going into the appointment. This was last year. I was having hormonal shifts. And I called the doctor's office because I know how that doctor's office is. It was a GYN appointment and stuff. So they're swamped. They have a lot of patients, and that's why it took 2 months to see me. So when I called, I was like, I'm up the street, but this traffic was standstill. And I'm from Baltimore, Maryland, if you don't know. And we just had a bridge collapse, the key bridge collapse. So traffic was terrible. And it's still terrible now, but I think people know the times to leave and have made adjustments. But this is when it just happened. It had happened like maybe a week or two before. So it was miserable getting there. If you sit in traffic and you're not making a lot of progress, it's miserable. So I had left the house 45 minutes early for maybe something it takes 20 minutes to get to. And when I got there, I was 10 minutes late and they told me to turn around and go home. They didn't tell me to turn around and go home, but they told me that they could not see me. I was upset. And I was so frustrated because I needed help. I wasn't feeling myself. And the lady was like, I think to me, laughing that, well, you can't be seen now, like kind of like that. And I was just so frustrated. I felt defeated. And so I found another GYN and she was a little bit better, but I still need to find another one. But what I've realized is I took my frustration and anxiety into my son's doctor appointment. And so when we're getting ready to go, like he got up with maybe 5 minutes to get dressed and he had to take a shower and everything. And I said, I'm not going anywhere until you call them and make sure that they will still take us. And he called and they were like, well, we might be able to see you, but we might not. But it's better for you to just come because we don't know when your next appointment will be. And I get it. So we go down there. I drop him off in the front. I park the car so he can get in. And he was only like 5 minutes late. So I had a whole bitch fit for no reason. But I go in there, y'all. And it was a totally different experience. They were nice. They were just like, they didn't know if they could take us or not because they had other stuff going on, but they were glad we were there and asked him how he was, all that good stuff. But just even the vibe in this doctor's office, that's why if you have a doctor that's not working out for you, try someone else. The doctor was nice. They asked me who I was and what I was doing there. And I was like, I'm mom. I'm the nosy mom. Anyways, but yeah, I went to the doctor with him and it was just they had holiday stuff up. They had like little gingerbread men that one of the physician assistant did a beautiful job of drawing out these images. It was so pretty. And I had to go back in and be like, this is beautiful. This is a great space. I mean, they had coffee, they had tea, they had like I want to say it was like a Keurig, but it wasn't a Keurig. and it was like nicely stacked. So to me, they gave a space that was like, even if you did have to wait, you wouldn't have minded, right? You're willing to give them grace and mercy. So what I will say is that's the way I need to operate through the rest of this year. And that's the way you should too. Like, don't go into your new experiences with what you've been through in the past experiences. And if you're dealing with someone who's late or not showing up the way you think, give them grace and mercy because you don't know what they're going through. And so I realized, even in me being frustrated with him, like he was in pain. So he was moving slower. And why didn't I know to like be kind and give him grace for that? And also that systems have people in it and they need grace and mercy too. One of the things that I think, now that I'm telling the story about the GYN's office that I was going through, they do have a lot of patients. They did grow. They're always on the news, all this stuff. So of course they have to have these rules and parameters, but of course I wanted them to break it for me. I'm like the most low maintenance person. But anyways, it doesn't matter. I think, and also that front desk people should be nice. If people are sick, if they're going through, they don't need you to be lying to them and acting dumb, which happened with my new GYN. We were on time for an appointment, but something happened to my HSA card. She said it didn't have a balance, but it actually did. So I just think it's interesting that, you can go through these things, but everything is for a reason, right? I learned that that was not the doctor's office for me. My daughter was with me, and it was like, I was like, well, since my card doesn't work, is it okay that she still gets seen? And the lady pretended like she was asking the doctor and never did. So, and I heard that this doctor was just pretty much, when you get her, you get her. But other than that, I want to say disingenuous, because if when I talk to you, you're doing certain things, but then if I call or I email you, it's no response. It's kind of like those words didn't mean a lot. So it's okay. Gonna find someone else. But have grace and mercy for your family, your kids, maybe the post office, because I know our post office is terrible. So I know you go in there, you just want to hurt somebody. Get your stuff do your stuff online. Measure your stuff. Use the if it fits, you ship. That's the way we deal with our post office. But if you do have to deal with them, go in with the mindset of grace and mercy. I'm having joy in every situation. I'm coming up with good energy, and my energy is going out into the world. That helps. So hopefully that is some good tips for you for the holiday. Now, we are already on my time, and I see that no one's on here. So I think I'm going to wrap it up. But one of the things that I wanted to also for us to do is, for those people that are watching in the future, think about an intention that you want to go into the holiday season with. I think for once, I'm thinking about that, and mine is joy and peace. I want to show up for every family event joyful and at peace. And I'm choosing that peace. I'm not looking for it in anyone or anything else. I want to go in there with that. So just taking our hand and just placing it over our heart and just taking some deep breaths. And every time when you're in a line or you have to bake your cookies and stuff, the recipes aren't going that way, just calm yourself. I do that a lot. I'll have to, like, especially if my heart is racing, I'll just put my hand over my chest. So just taking that one word. And when you go to your auntie and them's house, just being like, am I in joy? Am I in peace? Am I the intention that I set for this space? So here's a few that I looked up: peace, rest, softness, clarity, boundaries, mercy, presence, healing, joy, stillness. So just to let you know, like, yes, grace and mercy is the attitude. But my intention when I go in the space is like what I'm going to show up with, what I'm going to take away from. I think that's an easier way to look at it. So, anyways, I hope you enjoyed this live. I will be doing a podcast Friday, and hopefully you can catch me then. It's on Spotify. I also have the Holiday Joyful or Holiday Blues on the Not Vanilla podcast channel, and that's on Spotify as well.